Hello friends. What happens when fire meets fire? When one blazing soul born under Aries and the Chinese snake encounters another, crafted by Sagittarius and the rooster? At first glance, it feels like a recipe for sparks, brilliance, and perhaps a little chaos. Two vibrant personalities, two unstoppable engines of ambition, and two very different styles of getting what they want. Let's explore this cosmic duo, peeling back the layers of their union to see how love, marriage, sex, friendship, business, and even their darker tendencies shape the dance of Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster. Love. Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster are drawn together as though destiny itself conspired to make their paths cross. The moment they meet, there is often an instant recognition, a spark that cannot be ignored, as if both souls are being pulled into the orbit of the other. For the Aries Snake, love is never casual. This is a sign and animal combination that thrives on depth, mystery, and a careful, almost strategic exploration of feelings. They never jump headfirst into romance the way some others might. Instead, they study, observe, and analyze. The snake half of this personality is cautious, and though Aries provides boldness, the snake tempers it with calculation. Before giving their heart, the Aries Snake will quietly measure the character of their partner, taking note of how they handle stress, joy, conflict, and intimacy. The Sagittarius Rooster, in contrast, doesn't tiptoe around emotions. When they feel with all their being. They fall into romance like it's a grand performance, arms wide open, heart on display, and eyes sparkling with excitement. To them, love is an adventure, a play, a spectacle. They bring humor, charm, and extravagance into the experience, and they have a natural talent for sweeping people off their feet with bold declarations and larger-than-life gestures. While some might find this intensity overwhelming, the Aries Snake cannot help but be intrigued. The cool, collected snake sees in the rooster a flame that never goes out, a zest for life that refuses to be tamed, and this energy feels intoxicating. What makes this dynamic so fascinating is the push and pull of two very different approaches. Aries Snake loves with control, caution, and a touch of secrecy, while Sagittarius Rooster loves with passion, spontaneity, and unfiltered honesty. When these two forces merge, the result is both electrifying and complicated. On one hand, the Aries Snake adores the brightness, optimism, and humor of the rooster, qualities that shake them out of their natural intensity and seriousness. On the other hand, the Sagittarius Rooster is captivated by the snake's cool exterior, their silent strength, and their ability to bring grounding wisdom into what could otherwise be chaotic, high-energy situations. Still, this love match is not without its challenges. Both signs are proud, both have strong wills, and both want to steer the direction of the relationship. The snake likes to control from behind the scenes, weaving plans and setting the pace without ever announcing their strategy. The rooster, however, wants to be recognized for their leadership, admired for their vision, and applauded for their efforts. This means that while they are deeply compatible in terms of attraction, they may often struggle over who's driving the car. Yet, despite these power struggles, what keeps the bond alive is their undeniable magnetism. The Aries Snake often finds themselves laughing more with a Sagittarius Rooster than with anyone else. The rooster's ability to find humor in the ordinary and to bring joy into everyday life is a gift that balances the snake's sometimes heavy intensity. At the same time, the Sagittarius Rooster finds in the Aries Snake a partner who can handle their dramatic energy without crumbling under it. Instead of being put off by the rooster's theatrics, the snake sees them as refreshing and even endearing. Over time, their love deepens into something remarkable. The Aries Snake begins to soften, learning that not every moment requires calculation, and that sometimes spontaneity brings unexpected happiness. Meanwhile, the Sagittarius Rooster learns the value of patience, the beauty of a slow-burn romance, and the depth that comes with emotional self-control. Together, they become a balanced force, one guiding with intellect and quiet wisdom, the other inspiring with passion and endless enthusiasm. This isn't the kind of relationship that fades into dullness. Even after years together, the two still manage to surprise each other. Aries Snake will suddenly reveal an emotional depth that the Rooster hadn't fully seen before, while Sagittarius Rooster will continue to spark excitement with new adventures, wild ideas, and impulsive moments that keep the flame alive. Their love thrives on contrast, on the dance between mystery and openness, between strategy and spontaneity. The real beauty of this pairing lies in the fact that both partners grow. The Aries Snake learns to trust, to release some control, and to embrace joy without suspicion. The Sagittarius Rooster learns to slow down, to appreciate the subtlety of love that doesn't always need a stage, and to respect the power of quiet devotion. In the end, their love becomes a journey of evolution, one where both emerge more complete, more aware, and more connected than when they began. Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster in love are not simply lovers, they are teachers to one another. They bring out hidden strengths, challenge each other's weaknesses, and create a relationship filled with fire, laughter, and transformation. Yes, there will be storms, but for these two fiery souls, even the storms are part of the thrill. Love here is not about comfort or routine, it is about growth, intensity, and the thrill of two powerful forces learning to move together in harmony. And now, a little side note. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a thanks button right under this video, or through the donation alerts link in the description. Your support truly helps me keep creating. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's continue. Marriage. Marriage between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster is a story that refuses to be written in straight lines. It twists, bends, and blossoms into a dynamic, colorful narrative full of passion, tension, and constant movement. When these two decide to join their lives together, it is never a lukewarm arrangement. Both approach the concept of marriage with strong convictions, though their visions for how it should look are strikingly different. This contrast is what makes their union both challenging and electrifying. The Aries Snake views marriage through the lens of seriousness, purpose, and control. They see the institution as a sacred commitment, something not to be taken lightly. To the snake, marriage means building a fortress of stability, a place where security reigns supreme, where love is steady and tested. Even though the Aries side brings fiery boldness and an adventurous streak, the snake's nature is always looking to create a structured environment where trust and loyalty are non-negotiable. Once they marry, they expect dedication and respect, and they want their partner to mirror that sense of responsibility. The Sagittarius Rooster, however, comes at marriage from a completely different angle. For them, marriage is a journey of discovery, a playground of shared experiences, and a chance to live life at its fullest with a partner by their side. They are not content with simply settling down into predictable routines. Instead, they crave variety, constant stimulation, and fresh adventures. To the Rooster, love should always feel alive, an ongoing show full of laughter, energy, and new chapters that prevent the story from ever growing stale. When these two forces collide under the same roof, the result is a fascinating blend of order and chaos. The Aries Snake often acts as the anchor, keeping the marriage from drifting too far into unpredictability. They manage the household with care, create systems that bring security, and ensure that long-term goals are being pursued with discipline. The Sagittarius Rooster, in turn, breathes life into this carefully constructed space, adding vibrancy, spontaneity, and joy. Their enthusiasm is infectious, and they remind the snake that stability doesn't have to mean monotony. Together, they can create a home that is both grounded and endlessly exciting. Yet, the friction between their approaches cannot be ignored. The Aries Snake may grow frustrated with the Rooster's impulsiveness, the sudden decisions, the craving for change, the restless desire to do everything at once. To a snake, this can feel destabilizing, as though their carefully built sanctuary is being disrupted. On the other hand, the Sagittarius Rooster might find the snake's insistence on order suffocating. They may bristle under what feels like micromanagement or control, yearning instead for more freedom and flexibility. The success of their marriage hinges on their ability to compromise. The Aries Snake must learn to loosen their grip, to allow for moments of unpredictability and accept that chaos doesn't always lead to disaster. Sometimes, letting go opens doors to joy they never imagined. Meanwhile, the Sagittarius rooster must learn to respect the snake's need for order and recognize that stability is not their enemy. It is the very foundation that allows them to soar without fear of crashing. When both make these adjustments, their marriage transforms into a union of balance, where each brings what the other lacks. Life inside their shared home often reflects this balance. The Aries snake might be the one ensuring bills are paid on time, investments are planned wisely, and long-term family goals are kept in view. The Sagittarius rooster, meanwhile, is likely to be the one who initiates impromptu weekend trips, organizes dinner parties filled with laughter, or surprises their partner with new hobbies to explore together. Their marriage thrives when they allow space for both, the structure of tradition and the thrill of novelty. Over the years, this relationship has the potential to grow richer with time rather than duller. The snake learns to laugh more, to appreciate the beauty of moments that don't fit neatly into plans. They discover that a marriage can still be strong while bending to spontaneity. The rooster, conversely, learns the importance of roots, of building something that endures through seasons of change. They discover that their adventurous spirit shines brightest when anchored by love and loyalty. There will, of course, be storms. Heated arguments are almost inevitable because both personalities are strong-willed and passionate. The snake may withdraw into icy silence when upset, while the rooster might explode with dramatic outbursts. But beneath these clashes lies a deep reservoir of attraction and mutual respect. No matter how fiercely they fight, they are drawn back together, compelled by a magnetic force that refuses to let the marriage crumble easily. Ultimately, the marriage between Aries snake and Sagittarius rooster is not about perfection, it is about alchemy. It is about two very different energies merging into something greater than the sum of their parts. Their love story is not smooth or predictable, but it is vivid, textured, and unforgettable. For couples who crave growth, excitement, and the chance to constantly rediscover one another, this union is a gift. If they can navigate their differences with patience and empathy, their marriage becomes both a sanctuary and an adventure, a place where reliability and laughter live side by side, where passion never fades, and where two fiery souls find their rhythm together. Sex. Here's where the chemistry between Aries snake and Sagittarius rooster doesn't just spark, it erupts like a fireworks display that refuses to end. Their intimacy is electric, charged with fire and magnetism, and it quickly becomes the centerpiece of their connection. What makes their sexual dynamic so compelling is not simply the physical attraction, though that is undeniable. It is the way their two very different approaches to intimacy collide and complement, creating an experience that is both deeply emotional and endlessly exciting. The Aries snake, by nature, is sensual, magnetic, and deliberate when it comes to sex. They do not see physical intimacy as something casual or fleeting. For them, it is an art form, a ritual, a space where desire becomes almost spiritual. Every touch, every glance, every pause is calculated to deepen intensity and build anticipation. They revel in creating an atmosphere where their partner feels completely enveloped, lost in the gravity of their presence. The snake within them brings a hypnotic energy, a slow, tantalizing rhythm that pulls their lover deeper into connection with every passing moment. Aries adds the spark, the fire, the drive to make this intensity feel urgent and undeniable. The Sagittarius rooster, on the other hand, bursts into the bedroom with enthusiasm, playfulness, and unshakable confidence. For them, intimacy is an adventure, an exploration of joy, experimentation, and laughter. They see sex not as a solemn ritual but as a stage where both partners can be free, expressive, and uninhibited. They are unafraid to take risks, to suggest new ideas, and to push boundaries in pursuit of excitement. The rooster thrives on variety, and their natural charisma ensures that every moment feels alive, spontaneous, and full of passion. Together, these two create a combination that is as unpredictable as it is powerful. The Aries snake teaches the Sagittarius rooster the beauty of slow-burning passion, the kind of intimacy that lingers, that deepens, that binds two souls in unspoken understanding. They introduce the rooster to the magic of silence between touches, the poetry of patience, and the intensity of building desire instead of rushing it. In return, the Sagittarius rooster brings vitality and spontaneity to the snake's carefully orchestrated world. They coax the snake out of routine, remind them that intimacy can also be lighthearted and playful, and ensure that the bedroom never becomes stagnant or predictable. The physical chemistry between them often feels unstoppable. The snake's deliberate, magnetic presence grounds the rooster's high energy, while the rooster's enthusiasm lifts the snake out of their own intensity, creating a balance of depth and freedom. When they come together, the atmosphere shifts. It is as though the room itself becomes charged with heat, anticipation, and laughter. Both partners emerge from each encounter not only satisfied but renewed, as though their bond has been reaffirmed in the most primal and exhilarating way. What makes their sexual connection especially enduring is its dual nature. For the Aries snake, sex becomes a temple, a sacred space of union and intensity. For the Sagittarius rooster, sex becomes a playground, a place of joy, exploration, and celebration. Rather than clash, these two energies intertwine. Their intimacy is simultaneously serious and playful, profound and spontaneous, grounded and adventurous. They create a space where both can exist without contradiction, making their connection uniquely satisfying. This union also evolves over time. In the beginning, their chemistry may be wild, fiery, and explosive, fueled by the novelty of each other's differences. But as the years go on, it deepens rather than diminishes. The snake continues to weave intimacy with mystery and intensity, keeping the fire smoldering at the core of their relationship. The rooster continues to add new sparks, surprises, and playful energy that keeps the flame alive. Unlike many couples who struggle with fading desire, these two often find that their passion remains resilient, constantly transforming and reinventing itself. Of course, challenges arise. The snake's deliberate pace and desire for control can sometimes frustrate the fast-moving rooster, who craves excitement and immediate gratification. Conversely, the rooster's impulsiveness may feel reckless or shallow to the snake, who values depth and precision. If left unchecked, these differences could lead to misunderstandings in the bedroom. Yet, when both approach intimacy with openness and respect, their differences become their greatest strength. The rooster learns to savor the art of slowing down, while the snake learns the joy of spontaneity. Another layer of their sexual connection lies in trust. The Aries snake does not give themselves fully to just anyone. They guard their vulnerability closely, revealing their deepest sensuality only when they feel completely secure. The Sagittarius rooster, with their warmth, humor, and generosity of spirit, has the unique ability to earn that trust. They create a safe space for the snake to open up, to let go of control, and to surrender to passion without fear. In turn, the rooster thrives under the snake's unwavering intensity, feeling cherished, desired, and deeply connected. Together, they build a rhythm that feels both exciting and intimate. Their sex life becomes not only about physical pleasure but about strengthening the emotional and spiritual bond between them. Every encounter is an opportunity to learn more about one another, to surprise each other, to reaffirm their attraction, and to celebrate the fact that they have found someone who can match their fire in entirely different but complementary ways. In the end, sex for Aries snake and Sagittarius rooster is never routine, never mechanical, and never an afterthought. It is the heartbeat of their relationship, the space where their differences merge into harmony, where their fiery energies intertwine into something that is both explosive and enduring. It is here, in the realm of intimacy, that they truly understand the depth of their connection, a union that is as much about passion as it is about discovery, as much about devotion as it is about play. They create not only heat but a lasting fire, one that burns brightly through every chapter of their love story. Friendship. Friendship between Aries snake and Sagittarius rooster is like watching two seemingly opposite characters in a novel discover that, despite their wildly different chapters, they belong in the same story. At first glance, it's not obvious that these two would gravitate toward one another. The snake side of Aries is private, reserved, and cautious, preferring to study people quietly before committing to any real bond. The rooster side of Sagittarius, on the other hand, is exuberant, outspoken, and constantly seeking out the next exciting social interaction. Yet when these two personalities find common ground, the result is a friendship that is unusually rich, balanced, and deeply rewarding. The Aries Snake friend often plays the role of the quiet strategist. They're the one who sits back at the party, observing dynamics with sharp eyes, only speaking when they have something truly worth saying. They offer wisdom, grounded advice, and a steady presence that their friends can rely on. This makes them invaluable to the Sagittarius Rooster, who, while bursting with charisma and energy, sometimes acts without thinking. The rooster is quick to leap into situations, conversations, or adventures, and often it's the Aries Snake who provides the anchor, reminding them of the bigger picture or helping them avoid unnecessary pitfalls. Meanwhile, the Sagittarius Rooster is the quintessential social butterfly. They shine in groups, thrive in lively discussions, and are always on the lookout for new experiences. To the Aries Snake, who might otherwise stay too deeply rooted in their comfort zone, this energy is both refreshing and transformative. The rooster drags the snake into situations they might never have chosen for themselves, introducing them to new friends, new ideas, new hobbies, and new places. While the snake may hesitate at first, once they allow themselves to be carried along, they often find these experiences rewarding in ways they never expected. Of course, these differences also bring tension. The Sagittarius Rooster may at times grow impatient with the snake's serious, measured nature. They may see their friend as too quiet, too cautious, or even too skeptical, especially when the rooster wants to rush headfirst into something new and exciting. Conversely, the Aries Snake may sometimes view the rooster as superficial or shallow, mistaking their enthusiasm and need for variety as a lack of depth. These misunderstandings can create friction, but when both friends take the time to truly value what the other brings to the table, these tensions dissolve into opportunities for growth. What makes their friendship so unique is the balance they create together. The snake grounds the rooster, reminding them that not every adventure needs to happen at lightning speed, and that sometimes depth is more rewarding than breadth. The rooster lifts the snake, reminding them that life doesn't always need to be calculated or controlled, and that spontaneity can bring joy of its own. This interplay of gravity and lightness forms the core of their bond. It's as though the snake provides the solid earth beneath their feet while the rooster paints the sky with color above them. Together, they often embark on adventures that blend both of their styles. The rooster might suggest a weekend road trip with no particular destination in mind, while the snake ensures they have maps, snacks, and emergency plans ready in case anything goes wrong. The result is a journey that is both safe and thrilling. Or the snake might recommend a thoughtful, quiet evening of meaningful conversation, while the rooster turns that gathering into a lively dinner party, filling the snake's home with warmth and laughter. Each adds something essential, and the friendship thrives on this give and take. Trust is another cornerstone of their connection. Though the snake is naturally guarded, once they decide that the rooster is worth their loyalty, they are unshakable. They become the friend who listens without judgment, who keeps secrets, and who shows up when it truly matters. For the often dramatic, attention-loving rooster, this depth of loyalty is a grounding force. They know they can rely on the snake when the spotlight fades, when applause dies down, and when life feels heavier than usual. In return, the rooster showers the snake with affection, attention, and inclusivity, ensuring they never feel overlooked or undervalued. Over time, this friendship often matures into something resembling chosen family. The snake may quietly admire the rooster's bravery and ability to live life boldly, while the rooster may privately lean on the snake's wisdom and sense of stability more than they admit. They bring out sides of each other that might otherwise remain dormant. The rooster helps the snake laugh more freely, while the snake teaches the rooster the strength of silence and reflection. Of course, their friendship isn't free from challenges. At times, the snake's tendency toward secrecy may confuse the rooster, who prefers openness and candor. At other times, the rooster's flair for drama or need for attention may exhaust the snake, who craves peace and simplicity. Yet, despite these moments, they rarely drift apart for long. Their differences are precisely what draw them back together, each realizing that their friend provides something no one else does. Ultimately, the friendship between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster is built on balance, respect, and the recognition that opposites can not only attract but also sustain one another. The snake gives depth to the rooster's brightness, while the rooster brings joy and movement to the snake's calm. Together, they create a bond that is both steady and exhilarating, a friendship that can last through decades of change. It is a connection that proves laughter and wisdom, adventure and stability, can live side by side, and that the most unexpected pairings often make the most unforgettable friends. Business. In business, the partnership between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster is like combining the sharp mind of a chess master with the fearless energy of a showman. Separately, they are powerful, but when they come together, their complementary skills can create a team that is truly formidable. The snake brings patience, strategy, and a quiet but relentless focus on long-term outcomes. The rooster brings charisma, confidence, and the ability to captivate both clients and teams. At their best, they are the brains and the voice, the strategist and the motivator, the architect and the builder. At their worst, they are rivals trapped in a constant power struggle, each determined to prove that their way is superior. The Aries Snake in business is meticulous. They analyze numbers, trends, and risks with surgical precision. They don't make impulsive decisions. Every move is weighed, calculated, and planned far ahead of time. While Aries energy gives them boldness and drive, the snake tempers it with caution, ensuring that every risk taken is a smart one rather than a reckless gamble. Their natural shrewdness allows them to see through illusions, read people well, and anticipate challenges before they arise. They are the type who works late into the night perfecting a proposal, who researches competitors in depth, and who quietly but steadily builds the kind of foundation no storm can shake. The Sagittarius Rooster, meanwhile, thrives in the spotlight. They have an uncanny ability to inspire teams, attract investors, and charm clients. With their bold personality and boundless energy, they breathe life into projects, turning even the driest business endeavor into something that feels exciting. The rooster is persuasive, magnetic, and naturally authoritative. They walk into a room and people listen, not just because of what they say, but because of how they say it. While they may not have the snake's patience for minute details, they compensate with vision and enthusiasm that can rally people around almost any cause. When these two work together, the snake and the rooster often take on complementary roles without even realizing it. The snake is the planner behind the scenes, ensuring the foundation is solid, while the rooster becomes the face of the enterprise, spreading excitement and gaining support. The snake ensures that promises made can actually be delivered, while the rooster ensures that opportunities keep flowing in. It's a dynamic similar to an engine and fuel. The snake keeps everything precise and functional, while the rooster injects the fire that makes it move forward with speed and impact. But this partnership is not without its hazards. Both the snake and the rooster have strong egos and strong opinions about how things should be done. The snake's quiet authority can clash with the rooster's need to be seen and acknowledged. The rooster, with their flamboyant style, might feel stifled by the snake's insistence on control, while the snake may grow irritated with the rooster's impulsiveness or their tendency to make promises before the groundwork is in place. If these two fall into the trap of competing for dominance, the business can quickly become a battlefield rather than a shared venture. The key to their success lies in recognizing that they don't need to do the same job. The snake thrives in the shadows, pulling strings, organizing details, and planning strategies with remarkable foresight. The rooster thrives in the light, using charm, energy, and persuasion to win hearts and minds. If both respect these roles instead of trying to dominate each other's, their combined strengths can make them nearly unstoppable. Imagine a scenario. The snake meticulously develops a business model, calculating the risks and rewards down to the finest detail. Then the rooster takes that model and presents it with flair, turning it into a story that excites investors, inspires employees, and convinces customers. Together, they not only create a sustainable structure but also ensure that it shines in the marketplace. Without the snake, the rooster's big promises might collapse without support. Without the rooster, the snake's brilliant strategies might remain hidden, unrecognized, and underutilized. Their differences, when properly managed, actually become their greatest advantage. The snake ensures the company avoids disaster through careful preparation, while the rooster ensures the company doesn't stagnate by constantly pushing forward with bold new ideas. The result is a business that is both innovative and stable, ambitious yet grounded. Over time, if this duo learns to trust each other, their business ventures often grow stronger with each challenge. The snake admires the rooster's ability to win over audiences they themselves might never reach, while the rooster learns to value the snake's uncanny knack for keeping everything under control. Together, they build not just companies but legacies. Their ability to combine vision with execution can lead them to create enterprises that stand the test of time. Of course, the danger of collapse always lurks when egos go unchecked. If the rooster refuses to acknowledge the snake's authority behind the scenes, the snake may withdraw, leaving the rooster exposed without support. If the snake grows too controlling, the rooster may rebel, choosing flamboyant independence over cooperation. In such cases, their business could crumble as quickly as it rose. Yet, if they remember that leadership does not always mean doing the same thing in the same way, they can avoid this pitfall. When the Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster learn to share leadership, one directing from the shadows, the other inspiring from the spotlight, they can create not just a business but an empire. Their partnership becomes a perfect blend of brains and charisma, caution and daring, calculation and performance. It's the kind of alliance that doesn't just succeed but thrives in ways neither could have achieved alone. Dark sides. Every zodiac pairing carries its shadows, and in the case of Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster, those shadows can feel as intense as the fire that draws them together. While their connection is magnetic, their flaws are equally powerful, and if left unchecked, they can create turbulence capable of shaking even the strongest bond. These darker aspects of their personalities don't just hover in the background, they often step into the center of the relationship, demanding to be acknowledged, challenged, and, ideally, transformed. The Aries Snake, despite their undeniable charm and allure, has a complicated relationship with vulnerability. On the surface, they project confidence, intelligence, and an air of control that few can resist. Beneath this exterior, however, lies a deep fear of losing power or being exposed emotionally. This fear often manifests as secrecy or manipulation. Instead of openly expressing what they feel, the snake tends to hold their cards close, revealing only what they choose to reveal, and sometimes using information as a weapon. They are masters of emotional chess, calculating several moves ahead, ensuring that no one can corner them. This calculating side, while effective in protecting their heart, can create distance in relationships, making their partner feel locked out of their inner world. Control is another of the snake's darker tendencies. Because they dislike uncertainty, they may try to dominate situations, subtly or overtly, to ensure things unfold according to their design. This can be suffocating for a partner who thrives on freedom, as the Sagittarius Rooster does. The snake's need to orchestrate outcomes can turn into possessiveness or even manipulation, leaving the rooster feeling trapped in a web rather than supported in a partnership. The irony is that the snake's controlling nature often comes from a place of love and fear of loss, but in practice, it can feel stifling and emotionally draining. On the other side, the Sagittarius Rooster brings their own set of shadows into the union. The rooster is bold, confident, and flamboyant by nature, but that very confidence can sometimes morph into arrogance. They believe strongly in their opinions, often to the point of being self-righteous, dismissing other perspectives as less valid or less intelligent. In heated moments, this self-assuredness can come across as condescension, leaving the snake feeling underestimated or disrespected. Impulsiveness is another major challenge for the rooster. Their fire burns brightly but often without much thought to consequences. They speak without filtering, act without fully planning, and may leap into decisions on a wave of passion or enthusiasm. While this spontaneity can be exciting, it can also cause chaos, particularly when paired with the snake's need for control and caution. The rooster's tendency to blurt out unfiltered thoughts can cut far deeper than they intend, leaving scars that take time to heal. Their fiery words, meant as truth-telling, can feel like daggers to the snake, who already guards their heart so carefully. When these darker qualities collide, the result can be explosive. The snake, wounded by the rooster's bluntness or recklessness, may withdraw into a shell of cold silence. They retreat, shut down, and refuse to engage, leaving the rooster shouting into the void. The rooster, in turn, reacts to the snake's icy withdrawal with louder, sharper criticism, their words growing harsher in an attempt to break through the snake's armor. Instead of resolving conflict, this cycle only intensifies it, creating a standoff where both feel misunderstood and unappreciated. If neither partner takes responsibility in these moments, the relationship suffers deeply. The snake's silence breeds resentment, while the rooster's outbursts create guilt and defensiveness. What begins as a disagreement can spiral into a battle of egos, with each side clinging to their flaws like shields. The snake insists on control, the rooster insists on freedom, and the very differences that once drew them together become weapons tearing them apart. And yet, within these shadows lies the potential for growth. These dark sides are not only challenges, they are also lessons waiting to be learned. The Sagittarius rooster, with their unapologetic honesty and directness, teaches the snake the value of transparency. They show the snake that vulnerability is not weakness, that sometimes saying what you feel in the rawest, simplest form can deepen intimacy rather than threaten it. The snake, who often fears being seen too clearly, slowly learns through the rooster's example that openness can lead to trust, not loss. Meanwhile, the Aries snake teaches the Sagittarius rooster the beauty of restraint. The rooster, with their impulsive nature, benefits from the snake's ability to pause, reflect, and measure consequences. The snake demonstrates that words carry weight, that timing matters, and that not every thought needs to be spoken immediately. In this way, the rooster learns to harness their energy, channeling their fire into actions and words that inspire rather than wound. This exchange of lessons transforms their flaws into opportunities. The snake's secrecy, when tempered by the rooster's honesty, becomes wisdom paired with openness. The rooster's impulsiveness, when balanced by the snake's patience, becomes boldness paired with strategy. Their darker qualities, rather than tearing them apart, can become tools for building a stronger, more balanced connection. Still, this transformation does not come easily. It requires both partners to recognize their own shadows, to take accountability for the pain they may cause, and to actively work toward change. For the snake, this means releasing control, daring to be vulnerable, and resisting the temptation to manipulate. For the rooster, this means learning humility, practicing patience, and curbing their impulsive tendencies. When they commit to this growth, their bond not only survives but thrives, becoming more resilient with every challenge. The dark sides of Aries snake and Sagittarius rooster remind us that no relationship is purely light. Every bond carries flaws, shadows, and storms. But what defines the strength of this pairing is their ability to transform those shadows into lessons, to use conflict as fuel for growth, and to recognize that even the darkest moments can be doorways to deeper intimacy. Together, they embody the paradox of light and dark, proving that love isn't about perfection, it's about growth through imperfection. Life goals. The life goals of Aries snake and Sagittarius rooster may look, at first glance, as though they are drawn on opposite ends of the map. One is driven by power, stability, and the steady climb toward influence. The other is pulled forward by freedom, exploration, and the thrill of recognition. Yet when you look closer, these differences are not contradictions. They are complementary forces that, when brought together, can build a shared vision that is both grounded and soaring. Their ambitions may move in different rhythms, but the music they create together is rich, complex, and deeply motivating. For the Aries snake, life goals are rarely about fleeting pleasures or surface-level achievements. This individual seeks mastery in whatever they dedicate themselves to, whether it's a career, a craft, or a personal passion. They are driven by an almost relentless pursuit of excellence, and they measure success not only by material gain but by the respect and influence they command. To them, power is not simply control over others, it is mastery over circumstances, security against uncertainty, and the ability to shape their world with deliberate intention. The snake side brings patience and calculation, ensuring that every step is purposeful, while Aries adds fiery determination, ensuring they never stall or stagnate. Together, this makes them builders of legacies rather than seekers of passing victories. The Sagittarius Rooster, by contrast, is motivated by movement. Their goals in life are tied to the pursuit of variety, freedom, and visibility. They thrive on applause, whether literal or metaphorical, and they crave acknowledgement for their talents, energy, and achievements. For the rooster, success is measured in moments of recognition, in the admiration of others, and in the sheer breadth of experiences collected along the way. They are explorers, not just of places but of ideas, relationships, and opportunities. Routine suffocates them, and they are always reaching toward the next horizon, eager to see what lies beyond. At first, it may seem that these two are chasing completely different destinies. The snake's desire for mastery and control may feel rigid to the rooster, who thrives on spontaneity and endless possibility. Meanwhile, the rooster's constant need for new adventures may strike the snake as scattered or unfocused. But beneath these apparent conflicts lies the potential for harmony. Each partner's goals provide precisely what the other is missing, creating a dynamic balance between stability and adventure. In practice, the Aries snake often becomes the foundation that allows the Sagittarius rooster to soar. Their stability, discipline, and long-term planning create a safety net that empowers the rooster to chase their wildest dreams without fear of collapse. The snake ensures that the rooster's adventurous leaps don't end in disaster, offering structure and security that transforms risk into opportunity. The rooster, in turn, provides inspiration and vitality, coaxing the snake to leave the fortress of their comfort zone and taste the thrill of the unknown. They challenge the snake to expand beyond power and control, to discover joy in exploration and to find meaning not only in mastery but also in experiences. Together, their life goals become less about choosing between security and freedom, and more about blending the two into a powerful vision. The snake's ambition grounds the rooster's dreams in reality, while the rooster's adventurous spirit breathes life into the snake's carefully laid plans. Instead of canceling each other out, they push each other higher, each becoming a catalyst for the other's growth. Their partnership often produces a shared goal of building something both enduring and dynamic. It may be a business, a family, or even a shared creative project, but whatever they pursue, it carries the mark of both stability and excitement. The snake ensures that it lasts, that it is respected, that it holds weight in the world. The rooster ensures that it is vibrant, inspiring, and full of movement. The result is a vision that neither could achieve alone, a legacy that is both strong and alive. Still, challenges arise when these goals clash too directly. The snake may grow frustrated with the rooster's constant hunger for recognition, seeing it as vanity or distraction. The rooster may bristle under the snake's need for control, feeling confined by a vision that doesn't leave enough room for improvisation. If these differences are not addressed, their goals may begin to feel like opposing forces rather than complementary ones. The key is communication, respect, and the willingness to recognize that their contrasting desires are not flaws but strengths in disguise. Over time, the Aries snake often learns to appreciate the rooster's need for freedom, realizing that true influence is not just about control but about inspiring others to grow. They begin to understand that power without joy becomes hollow, and that their partner's pursuit of variety adds richness to their own life. The Sagittarius rooster, on the other hand, learns the value of stability. They come to see that exploration without foundation can become chaos, and that the snake's dedication to mastery allows their own adventures to have deeper meaning and greater impact. Their shared journey toward life goals becomes a process of mutual evolution. The snake discovers the thrill of expanding beyond carefully calculated boundaries, while the rooster discovers the strength of grounding their ambitions in something lasting. Together, they create a path that is ambitious but not reckless, adventurous but not unstable. Their goals, once seemingly incompatible, merge into a shared vision where ambition and adventure fuel one another's growth, creating a life story that is both structured and inspiring. In the end, Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster do not just pursue life goals, they transform them. Their union becomes proof that security and freedom, control and exploration, respect and recognition, can coexist. Their journey is not about compromise in the sense of settling. It is about synthesis, about weaving two seemingly different destinies into a single tapestry. The snake's hunger for mastery and the rooster's craving for experience create a legacy that is both powerful and unforgettable, one that carries them far beyond what either could achieve on their own. Final thoughts. So, what's the ultimate verdict on the compatibility between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster? To put it simply, this is a pairing of fire meeting fire, of strategy locking eyes with spontaneity, of mystery tangling with flamboyance, and of depth being illuminated by brightness. It's not a gentle or predictable match, it's a relationship marked by sparks, challenges, and constant movement. And that's exactly what makes it so unforgettable. At their very best, these two create a dynamic that feels almost cinematic. The Aries Snake contributes wisdom, patience, and strategy. They're the architect who ensures that the foundation of the relationship, or partnership, or friendship, or business, is strong and enduring. The Sagittarius Rooster, meanwhile, provides the energy, the charisma, and the fearless drive to take risks. They're the fire that keeps everything alive and in motion, ensuring life never feels stagnant. Together, they build a world that's not only safe but exhilarating, not only structured but constantly expanding. But at their worst, they can become locked in fierce battles of will. Both possess strong personalities, both value independence, and both hate losing. The snake's tendency to manipulate or control can trigger the rooster's rebellious streak. The rooster's impulsiveness or arrogance can awaken the snake's cold silence and strategic retreat. In those moments, the relationship can feel like a battlefield rather than a sanctuary. Power struggles become their greatest enemy, and unless they learn to bend, their differences can consume them. The secret to harmony lies in balance and respect. The Aries Snake must learn that true strength doesn't always come from control. Letting go, showing vulnerability, and allowing unpredictability into their world can actually deepen the connection and make it more fulfilling. For the Sagittarius Rooster, the lesson is in slowing down, in learning to value subtlety, silence, and the quiet power of restraint. By doing so, they can transform their passion into something not just exciting but enduring. When they manage to embrace these lessons, the union between Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster becomes nothing short of extraordinary. It's a relationship where both partners grow, not by abandoning who they are, but by stretching into parts of themselves they might never have discovered otherwise. The snake becomes more adventurous, more open, and more willing to take risks. The rooster becomes more grounded, more thoughtful, and more capable of sustaining long-term goals. Together, they embody the paradox of fire, dangerous, yes, but also a source of light, warmth, and transformation. Their love story, or friendship, or business partnership, will rarely be quiet or easy, but it will always be meaningful. Even their conflicts serve a purpose, pushing them toward self-awareness and mutual respect. This is not a pairing for the faint of heart. It's bold, dramatic, and demanding. But for those who can embrace the ride, it's also deeply rewarding. The Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster don't just survive together. They thrive, creating a life that is passionate, ambitious, and unforgettable. Their story is proof that opposites don't just attract, they challenge, they ignite, and they ultimately complete one another in ways neither could achieve alone. In the final analysis, the compatibility of Aries Snake and Sagittarius Rooster is a fiery dance of contrasts. It's a union that can burn too hot, but if handled with care, it becomes a flame that never fades. Respect, compromise, and an appreciation of each other's strengths and shadows are the keys. With those in place, this match doesn't just work, it dazzles. It's dangerous, it's beautiful, and it's destined to leave an indelible mark on both lives.